Water from the world-renowned Texas Real Estate Investment Center.
No, it's
Our
not.
water here is
Yeah,
pure
it's
gold.
Beautiful.
It's the best.
Oh, we're not recording for the radio. We don't need to do that. Yeah, you can shut that off. Blake comes in. We're just going to go live on stuff. So you know what we get sometimes?
My babies are gone.
We get, wow, that mastermind's expensive. And I'm like, okay.
What's expensive?
Right? I'm like, what are you trying to do? It's like, wow, we're just going to keep trying to buy them ourselves. So
Whenever,
okay, great.
like when I'm in a especially honorary mood,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you got kids in college? Yeah. What are they majoring in? Some nonsense that's not STEM. And I'm like, okay. And our mastermind's still expensive. So your kid can go get a $35,000 a year barista
French
job.
literate, yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that, buddy.
So last night, we had a new member join for 45 days. And he came to us. And he's like, okay, I'm going to need a little help. I'm going to join. If I need help, I'm buying this 4-unit in Galveston.
Okay.
So we looked through it. We helped us. Yeah, buy the deal. It's fine. Then we had a 4-unit flip come up.
Okay.
He jumped on that. Right? So he bought a 4-unit flip. It's got, I don't know, $100,000 in equity. Right? Just take a little time to get the thing all fixed up. And then last night, he was at our little off-market sale for the mastermind members only, and he picked the goddamn cherry off the top, man.
When I was real reluctant to sell that one, I was like, well, let's float it out there. I don't think
we had
anybody-
already pulled 3 back, so then we're like, well, what are we really selling? Are we selling or are we not selling, right?
Yeah.
So
And then when you told me this morning that he's going to buy it, he's coming in with a check today, I was like, damn it.
13 hours, and the guy is probably made on the deals that we provided him probably $250,000 in equity for his $12,500 mastermind cost.
That sounds like a terrible deal.
So I don't. When people
Join
say
for
it's
12.5,
expensive, yeah,
make $250,000.
I don't understand what they're talking about. And I think it's all short-sightedness, right? Probably buyers that aren't really buyers, right?
No, it's it's funny. I'm a member of a whole bunch of these car groups, and you can tell, and boat groups. I'm in these Donzi boat groups on Facebook. If you guys know what Donzi boats are, and it's always funny because it comes up. It's like, who in here is a real buyer?
Right.
Like, who's really shopping and who's just shooting their mouth off?
Yeah.
And you go to any of these real estate events and you network and, there's like 1,000 people here. And there's like, dude, there's like 10 guys doing deals in here.
Yeah.
It just, I was at that event. There were 300 people at 2 weeks ago walking around the room. And I'm like, this sounds terrible. I shouldn't even say this, but you know what? I'm going to let it out. It amazed me how many folks that were full-time wholesalers, investors who now had to go get regular daytime jobs.
That's okay.
Which is, it's part of the deal, but it was like, I get it, your business failed, so now you got to go back and get kind of a W-2, which is fine.
Well,
but they're showing up at the real estate event. I'm like, what are you doing here, man? You're not an investor anymore. You really weren't one before.
I have a confession for you, Jason. As
What's
my
that?
partner, you need this full disclosure. Okay. I keep looking at the Boca Chica Space Center call for employees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would be good at that. I would be good at that. I would be good at that.
Yeah, but you're not going to any real estate events after that. You're
That's
like,
true. Well, I may go to the Boca Chica real. I may
you're
start
going to
my
start
own
a
real
Boca
club
Chica.
down there. Yeah.
There's going to be a Boca Chica-ria. That's a fun one. Boca Chica-ria.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's like, you go take that. That's a fun
I'm not
job.
forced to go back to the W2.
Right, it's
but
like,
man, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I think I'd be really good there. I could be this. I could be the guy who goes around the world and creates the spaceports for Elon.
Well, Elon said something that popped up in all the news wires today, and he said Austin is in dire need of single-family real estate.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm like, I'm waiting for the phone call, dude. We're gonna get a phone call, and it's like, hey guys, how could you solve this problem? And it'd be pretty cool. I'd go work. I've said before, I'd go work for the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to the Austin Rio events after that.
We would have a hot sale of everything and just go work for Elon. But we would go to work for Elon as millionaires. So
right, yeah, it's like I'm here because maybe I'll get an elementary school named after me while Elon gets a couple planets named after him. Right.
Well, let's keep talking about last night. So last night was great. We had way more people than I thought.
Yeah.
We had 10 people in the room and then 16 people online.
This was all of our master.
That was half the mastermind.
That was like half our mastermind.
I'm like, what are you guys doing, right? And so,
well, we bring buyers into the group, like real investors.
They're all real buyers. They're all wanting to look at the deals, and I think they really want to understand what the market's at. And so, unfortunately, the $150,000 single-family house in Houston is gone.
Yeah, that's gone.
However, the $110,000 a door multifamily is still there, or $100,000, even $90,000 a door is still there if you're looking hard enough. We are. So we presented a couple last night. We have a quick little wholesale deal we're doing. That is 3 units, and we're all in at I think 260.
Okay.
So what's that, like 86,000 a pop, right? 86,000 a door. They'll definitely make more than $850 a month per door. So that fits everything, right? And it should appraise for over 300. So there's equity. There's 1% rule. There's at least 15% cash on cash. You're gonna buy it, do that, right? So again, people are looking at that and it's like, hey, this is probably the best deal that's on the board right now. And someone's gonna buy it by tomorrow at 3:00, or we're buying it.
Right.
It's one of those, we bring you the 1-4s first, we present that to the group, and if you guys don't want it, then we buy it. But again, here's a 3-unit at roughly $85,000 a door that people who passed on the mastermind aren't going to get.
Right.
Because they think $12,500 is too expensive.
Well, the other way, I talked about this on yesterday's show. What Bob said when I worked for him for so long, as compared to what? You can go join a national real estate program for $50,000. They have 0 deals.
Right.
They don't have anything. They go, here's a postcard campaign that doesn't work anymore because inventory is 30% below market, below where it should be. Good luck.
Well, the other thing is we did last night too, and this is the hardest thing about last night for Jason and I, is we put these things out at the 1% rule, even though we know they were worth more.
Yes.
So the one that went quickest was a 4-unit in the Heights.
Yeah.
That probably would have retailed north of $650, and we sold it for $560.
And it's rehabbed. That's rehab
ready to
every
go.
day.
We're renting it now, right? And we should do 2 Airbnbs in front, and it'll be a cash gold mine, right? But we put that at 1% because we told our masterminds we do it at 1%. Now we're still making money on it, right? We're not losing money on that. That's good, and the fund's going to get some money. We're going to get some money. It's all good. Everything's good on that one. But guy bought it. He's got $100,000 equity, and yet $12,500 is too expensive.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to keep doing it myself, Jason.
Okay. Yeah. Have at it, man. Let me know. What's great was when it was just like I was at that event a couple weeks ago, and it was, hey man, how you doing? Oh, great. And they're like, oh, we just see all the crazy stuff you guys are doing. You're buying buildings and doing all that, and you guys don't even know that. We only talk about.
You don't know the half.
You only know about 10% of what we're doing.
That's okay.
I'm actually going to start having a conversation about bank stuff next week.
Yeah.
But I'm going to buy a damn bank. That's one of my goals. Anyway, so we're having a lot of conversations with folks, and one of the things I'm finding is, hey, what did you do in the last year? Oh man, COVID.
Yeah.
Things got kind of crazy. I'm like, we couldn't buy enough real estate.
I'm ready to get back out there now.
Yeah, and I'm like, so
what are you gonna buy?
What's out there? Inventory is now 30% lower, and demand is up by 30%.
So here's the little slice. There is now a, let's see, 3:00. It's now noon. There is a 27-hour window for smart investors. We have another 4-unit in Galveston that we're selling at the 1% rule. We have a 6-unit that we're selling at the 1% rule. That needs a little work. There's one of the units, 5 of them are ready to go. 6th one needs a little work. We're selling them as is, but we're selling at the 1% rule. And we have a 13-unit that we're selling at a,
7.5 cap.
It looks like it looks like a 7.5 cap. When you get crunch, the actuals are probably like 6.8, something like that, right? But your quick back to the napkin math will put it at an 8 cap.
Okay.
But when Rob does his math, it's I account for everything.
Yeah.
So, but we're selling 13 units. We're selling them at roughly $105,000 a door.
And I'll tell you, the exit on that deal is to hold it
Forever.
and then you'll be building
Condos
$1 million condos and townhomes on it because it's an acre and a half.
Yeah,
that'll be the exit in 5 years.
Yes, that'll be the turn there. We'll call it a 7 cap that we're selling that, and depends on what math you use and what math I use. But if you're in a big apartment guru room, it would be an 8 cap.
Yeah, and they'd be running around.
They'd be running around screaming about this 8 cap in Houston. We're
They'd be
calling it a
dancing.
7
They'd be
cap
playing
because
weird music, and people would be clapping and all that nonsense.
Yeah, we take the 1 month out for turnover
Right.
out of all our numbers, and that's a lot of gurus don't do that.
Yeah. We're not starting without you, Blake.
No,
we're just
rapping.
We're just chatting before
Yeah.
we get started. Hold on, we got to let Blake just showed up. We got to let him in. So we're selling some assets, and we're doing that tonight. So if you guys want to see any of the stuff that we've got, you've got to be here live tonight. We're not doing this online. You can wear your mask and sit at the back of the room, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to be here tonight to be able to see any of these things.
6 unit, 13 unit, 4 unit, and then 1 Airbnb,
Okay.
which could be a duplex.
Which Airbnb is that one?
Well, the one that no one's quite claimed yet, but everyone's put their hand up for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to
selling.
buy, kids.
Yeah. So you'll get it if you join the mastermind tonight, you get it at the mastermind price. I can absolutely tell you they all go up by $100,000 come Friday, and they're still good deals.
Yeah, we're just going to put them on MLS and let the feeding frenzy start.
Yep, absolutely.
Because we know that the marketplace is 30% below
Right.
in inventory.
Come to the Texas Real Estate Investment Center tonight. Look at the properties. If you like them, stroke a $12,500 check and join the mastermind right now.
And
Actually, no checks, credit cards tonight.
Yeah, it's great. There you go. I don't want your bouncing check.
Yeah, no bounce check. But this is what we're talking about, guys. We have a mastermind and we have deals, and we have good deals, and they're fair. That's the biggest thing. Like, no one last night said any of this stuff was overpriced. They're like, yeah, we see it, 1% for sure, all day long.
I think the lowest DSCR was 1.2.
We had a 1191, but that was the Airbnb. So if we don't count the Airbnb numbers, on the Airbnb side, it goes up to like a 1.6.
Yeah, so all of them were great, just great little deals.
Yep.
Most of them were turnkey.
They're all pretty much turnkey except one, yeah.
So you walk in, I mean, it's cash flow on day one.
And I told the guys, we got crews out there now wrapping some stuff up. We're going to keep them going. We're going to put the stuff in, and come end of your option period, the music ends. That's it.
Yeah.
So won't be appliances. You have to, a couple appliances, a couple window air conditioning units or mini split. No, I don't even need windows. I got mini splits. Mm-hmm. They all have mini splits.
Which are the greatest things ever.
Yeah. So anyway, that's for tonight. Check us out. You can go right to mrtxre.com, go to events. The link will be there for the small apartment mastery tonight. Mm-hmm. And we'd love to see you.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. I'm going to let you take over.
Okay. That's it. Since we're not doing this on the radio, I guess we're done.
Yeah, just did a Facebook Live. That's it. How you doing, man?